Folks, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, they're expected to continue stimulus talks today, just after the two failed to reach an agreement following an hour-long phone call yesterday. In the meantime, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, he is desperately calling for more stimulus today. He reiterated that, saying too little fiscal and monetary stimulus could lead to a very weak recovery. Joining me now to discuss, senior fellow at the National Taxpayer Union, Mattie Duppler. Mattie, I've said many times in this show, Congress needs to act now, and you also have talked about the idea that we still need one more push. In your mind, how should it look? Because the numbers are starting to climb up there where we know it's getting a little bit crazy now.
Yeah, Charles, this is very simple. What Congress needs to do is reiterate some of the support it put into place in the CARES Act this spring and provide support to the economy as we move through the uncertainty these next couple of months. Why are the next couple of months uncertain? Well, because the CARES Act itself is running out, but also because it's fall. The winter weather is upon us. We don't know what the virus is going to do as the weather gets colder, and as people are thrown indoors, they can no longer do the outdoor activity that helped buoy a lot of the economic and commercial activity we saw throughout the summer. So the fall months were always going to be challenging, but the base case was that Congress was going to get its act together and get more support passed. They were just going to wait and see what the circumstances were, which is why the CARES Act itself started to expire in July. We're now 8 weeks out from the expiration of the unemployment benefits. We're a month out from the expiration of the Small Business Lending Authority for the PPP program. This is insane to me that negotiators are still continuing to hem and haw about what needs to come next. Nancy Pelosi put a bill on the floor that just narrowly passed last week because she needed to give her moderates something to go home to campaign on. But we're still far apart for the two sides finding an agreement here. And the Americans, the people who've lost their jobs as a result of the coronavirus, are worse off as a result.
I want to ask you about Joe Biden, because he's been talking up a lot here this week. His taxes, his tax pledge. He said no hikes for anyone earning less than $400,000. But then when you look at those actual spending plans and just how enormous they are, it's hard to see how he could pull them off without taxing everyone and everything that moves.
Yeah, this has always been the plan from the Democrats, to argue that their tax plans don't hit anyone making under a certain threshold. Now, it's interesting because when President Obama ran for president, he said no one would be taxed under $250,000. Now, apparently, that threshold has been raised to $400,000 for Joe Biden. But do his plans actually only tax people making above that? I would argue they do not. I mean, for one, they expand the amount of taxes that will be put on Social Security and wages. As a result of that, more people will be paying taxes on more of their income for Social Security. But also big taxes on businesses and on corporations. We know that those taxes are felt by workers and by labor, and they will be paid by the people who right now are struggling the most. The people at the lower part of the economic ladder are the ones who get hit by taxes on wages and productivity. So, to say that he would raise taxes coming into office, I think is a foolhardy pitch to the American people, particularly right now when there's so much uncertainty in the economy. I think it's a hard sell.
That's probably why they're emphasizing it's only going to happen to the rich. But, of course, we heard that before. Mattie, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, folks, Joe Biden taking a dig at his former rival, Bernie Sanders.